There's a lot of subjectivities in today's session. So this is how I think about these things, and you may think differently, and that's okay. We will take them at Q&A. So we have discussed a lot in this calls about agents, how to build them, how to go about them. We have also discussed what the ingredients of these agents, what are the challenges. And today I thought maybe we talk about the ecosystem, like how to come up with ideas, or what are the agents, what are the areas where we should play and where we should not play. With all of your support, let's get started. By the way, if you're seeing me for the first time, I'm Mahesh. I have built agents or back office automation agents for GCP, which just got launched at Google Next this year. Those are multi-agent systems. I was lucky enough to get started early on these 2 years ago and ship them. Before that, I built an agent framework for Bedrock, which is an AWS service. Before that, I worked on large language models, how to actually train them with PyTorch distributed systems, which was used to train GPTs of the world. If you want to connect, that's my LinkedIn. If you're not connected, I accept connections. Still, it allows me to accept connections. So please take a screenshot or do this. It's the same slide deck, so everybody should have access to slide deck. But that's the agenda today. If you stay along today, then what will you know about is you will learn basics of agents. You will understand what are the patterns that are changing the PM space in AI. So what does an AI PM actually do, or what you are supposed to do as an AI PM, and what is changing in that field? And then you will also be able to identify agent market fit. And then I will share some ideas on how can you come up with ideas for agents. And then I will walk you through some 12 ideas that are very popular that we will be building those in coming years. So let's get started. We are 4 minutes down. So Agent 101. So we've talked about agents a lot. I'm talking only AI agents, not what you see in movies or what you saw in Matrix. Can I say, if I take a large language model and build a Q&A on top of it, which is just I ask questions and it gives me answers, will that be an agent? So let's say that's not an agent. Then what makes an agent? There are 3 specific qualities that you are looking if you're looking for building agents. Those are 3 things that are coming up again and again is if they can handle unstructured data, because we human handle unstructured data very well. Or you can send me text, or you can talk, or you can just frown and make a face and I will react very differently. An agent can handle unstructured data. They can handle complex rules. And the last thing is they have to make complex decisions in the process of getting things done. So agents are the things that helps us achieve end-to-end tasks. They take goals and tasks. And these are the underlying properties that you should look for when you're looking for agentic workloads or agentic things. It is simple rules. What will we call them? We can call them flows. So anybody says agents are things that achieve goals and tasks. And you're absolutely right that they use tools, they use memory, they use decision, but there is a piece called orchestration. And orchestration is a piece which allows you to handle unstructured data, complex rules, and not simple but complex decision making. By the way, I wanted to show you something cool also this time. So I moved here. So I played with have anybody played with Copilot from Microsoft? I was playing with it and I found it very intuitive. So what I did before this session is you can go to Microsoft Copilot and you can simply describe what you want to build. So I want to build a contract processing. So this is me showing you how to build agents which can make decisions, which can act and do things out there for you. Okay. And it gets started. It asks you a bunch of questions. And then, okay, instruction, extract the contract first. Then find key terms / clauses in that clauses. Then find correct or market value of these terms. And then do risk. Give me only 3 high risks. Okay, great. And then they go ahead, they do a bunch of things, and eventually they land you something like this. While this one loads, I will just go here for the time being. But you can just give them instructions. You can keep talking to it. It will keep asking you questions. Okay, they will say, they give you a name, but you can say your name. I will say contractor, or I will say AI PM community contractor, so that we all don't sign contracts without reading going forward. And then it says, okay, should we do this? And eventually it will land you something like this. And now you can see it, you can add knowledge to it, you can add previous contracts, you can add topics, what to say, what not to say. If somebody says thank you, then do what, start over, do what, greeting, do, handle those. And then you have actions, which is tools, and you can add actions like, hey, read this, go do this search. And they have integrated with Excel well, which is all the conversations, put them here. So our product manager can go and do evaluation on them. So you can just store all the information, just say, get a row, get worksheet, and they have a library. And you can have activities also, which is when to call what. And then they show you once you publish it, you can also see how many people are using it, where they are failing, what can they do, they were not able to accomplish, what step they failed on. And then you have different channels you can integrate with. So you can just say, hey, I'm not building a front end. This should work from Teams. So I can just say Teams Microsoft. And then I can have this chatbot, which is on my right hand side, working in my Teams. So I have Contracto in Teams, and now anybody in Teams can just upload it. So what I did is, because Yeting joined, I uploaded an Intuit contract, MSA, and asked it that, hey, give me all the problems. It asked me a couple of questions, and eventually it gave me all the terms and the problems in it. And obviously the quality is not awesome, but that's where we come in. But it was intuitive and get started fast. So I thought I will just show you. It takes like 5-6 minutes to build something like this. But obviously it takes 5-6 days to build something that you are proud of, and you can put it in Teams in your own org. But it's so powerful because we are showing you or helping you build things with the Langflow, but it's very hard to bring them to enterprise. But if you build here in your tenant inside your company, you can just ship it in a week and be credible. And then if you are part of our cohort, they have also integrated here the flows, the Power Automate lab we did. So everything you did in Power Automate comes here in flows, and then you can also call those flows here and build an agent around those flows. So they are bringing everything together. They have a lot of properties here and there, but now you can also create the same flows here and then say what should happen then and that. And you can take some examples, send an email a reminder every week, and it will create that drag and drop flow for you. So trigger this, get my profile, send an email. And now I can just keep doing more and more stuff to it. If you want to add more things, you can add to it. Okay, I just wanted to excite you enough. I know I can do a whole session on this, but I wanted you to know that that's what agents means, and you can build them by writing 0 lines of code, and you can publish them for enterprises. Okay, then I think we landed this much. Any questions? By the way, we are doing another session, which is practical tips about AI PM interview specific, which is about how can you actually show up in these interviews. So, Karan, any questions on Agent 101?
Yes. So there's a question where people have asked that what's the difference between AI agents and LLM?
Great. LLM are the machine, are the intelligence piece of the agent, which helps powers the agents. They don't get things done for you. They are a tool to get things done. So agents use LLMs to actually get a job done for you, and they use it in many times. First to even understand the user query, then to figure out which tools to call, then to figure out which knowledge to retrieve, then to check if the job is done or not. But LLM is that thing which you call many times to get a job done, which is the role of an agent. There is a course here. I teach a course. I just love to teach. I do this every Friday anyways. I'm doing it for the last 3 years, this free session. And if you join, We are also giving 3 weeks of AI PM interview prep. Uh, a lot of people ask for it. I really don't think it's easy to help you get into jobs, but at least here we will share what your CV should look like. How should you create your stories? What should be the ingredient of the stories? And then the three archetypes, which I will talk. If that's clear, then let's keep moving, right? The second things. Okay, we have agents, and the agents are here as we have seen a lot of SaaS to AI disruption. So everything that we have built till date is ready for disruption, while there are new use cases which we have not thought before. And I will give you some of these things that helps you go further. By the way, I like this framework: understand, identify, execute. As a PM, what you do is you first understand what's the landscape looks like. Then you identify where the org or your team should focus. And then you should have a relentless pursuit of execution to bring what you identify to your customers. But let's understand what is changing across these three dimensions. And I will give you top things across understand, identify, execute that you need to learn or have those muscles if you're going to build these agents for your companies, for your communities, or for yourself. So what is an AIPM? AIPM doesn't do anything different. They also understand, identify, execute. Understand, identify, execute. So when you understand, anything AI specific that comes to mind?
Data. You need to understand I guess, the algorithm type that you are going to use.
What are you solving for?
What you are solving for?
The problem. Like the pain point. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Process.
So that process. Okay, great.
Reasoning.
Limitations, reasoning. Now I like, okay, I give you time, then you talk. Okay, I got it. Reasoning. A few more ideas that you need to go specifically is, hey, what is the accuracy expectation of this solution? Second thing, maybe you need to figure out in your problem statement is that why it's okay. Then in 2025, you also need to explain why ChatGPT can't solve this problem out of box. Right? There is intelligence out there, and if somebody can solve it through ChatGPT at a $20 price point, what room you have to play? And the last thing you need to have, and something where I have a lot of data that I can go after. Let's just make it generic. But make sure you have these three things in your problem statement. If you are trying to understand these three and make sure it's part of your problem statement. And what are the three ingredients of a solution that your AI should do? What should you cover in your solution? So let's say you identify a problem that contracts have risks, and I want to identify risks in contract. It's very hard. Legal team can't scale it, and it's okay. Nobody can find all the 100% of the risks. But even if I give 80% of the risk, I can add value. Even the lawyer doesn't do 100% risks. Okay, ChatGPT can't solve it because there are different types. There's different type of learning. Contracts are hard to upload to a public website. You solve that. And then you can say there's enough public data for every type of contract because SEC requires you to upload these when you go public. So you can actually find a lot of data. Solution. What will you add in your solution section? For AI specifically?
Suggest interventions based on the risk type to help rescue.
Great. Because you know that accuracy can't be 100%, your solution should have fallbacks, which is where are you going to call humans? Where are you going to say that it's not possible? And what is possible? You have to specify a specific user experience, a different user experience. And there are a lot of ingredients to that. That this is the first time you can give configurable UIs, like you saw. That the experience that we got from Copilot today was very different than what we have seen. Here I went, I talked, but the AI also talked to me, and eventually they created a flow for me. Building confidence with the users. So that's the second problem people have, which is you need to build confidence with these tools. So make sure you have these two ingredients, and I can go on. Once you have identified you have to identify a way to break this AI uber jumbo problem into smaller agent problems that you need to build. So breaking it apart in your second section of your job, which is, okay, I need an AI agent which can extract contracts. Then you have to find what is important in this contract. So extract or find the right key terms. That's an agent or clauses in a contract. Okay, then you have to have their values, that what is not risky value for this. And then you have your risk assessment, and then you have your display also, because some people may say, I need a report, some people want it red, some people want it green. So now you have broken it down, and here you will identify. So that's your second part. So you need to identify the risks next. The what is the most riskiest thing? These two are the most risk. So this is risk zero. Like finding risks in a random open contract is not trivial. It's a high risky job because a human does it with a lot of experience, a lot of learning. And if you're trying to replace that function, you need to do an awesome job. And finding out, these two are interrelated, but finding out what is the market, what is the right playbook for it. So if you can do this risk assessment, then you can create a roadmap, or you can identify how are you going to approach this. And the last thing, execute. You will set up evaluation, you will set up how to price, and you will set up how to do go to market for these. So if somebody asks you why we need PMs, you can say, if engineers can do all this, then we don't need PMs. And if you don't do all this, the chances of you succeeding today are close to zero. Okay. So let's talk about the next thing. What are the core agent qualities? This is what I'm contemplating. What is working in the world of AI agents and what's not working? So what's not working is, or what has limited TAM, is just chatbots. If you're just going to give Q&A and your Q&A are just this versus this, and then you have limitation that I don't know 100 times, then your ROI is really low. Only limited use cases you can go ship. Second thing, which we thought will resolve this last year or earlier this year, we said we're going to automate humanity. We said we will build automation. We will come replace humans, and we will give you a support agent which just takes all your support work. We'll give you a lawyer. All those companies have gone from automation to now saying we assist and we do not automate everything. Why is that not working? Why is automation not working? If I come and tell you that I'm going to automate Mahesh to do these sessions, what would be the problem? They have a really hard GTM problem. Like, go to market is so hard for these because, first of all, you are trying to sell to the same department which has a people demand. So they are finding all the problems in your solution and just throwing it back at your face and saying it doesn't work. And second is the technology is not there. Maybe like TurboTax was able to remove a lot of people who did taxes before because it worked. For a simple tax, it was not very complex, and what humans were adding no value. What I have seen in the last 3-4 months worked has two major qualities. One is they went after tools. They gave you a tool which is an assist tool. The UX part, where what they did is they gave you artifacts all along. What they did is they said, you know what, I'm not replacing a lawyer, but I will make you do the lawyer job without knowing a lot about law. By the way, if you liking this session so far, you can actually join all the sessions now. You need not to enroll. Okay, second last thing, coming up with agentic ideas to lead. Let me give you a little more framework. I have laid down basics, things I can't write in a book. One is choose a field where you have PhD level expertise. Okay, if you're coming with agentic ideas, do not take anything that came up in some hackathon. You think you can build it and take it forward. At least you know the field. Second, this is the idea that we were talking earlier, that there's a lot of things that were hard or impossible earlier to build, but now they are possible because It's so easy to build a lot of things and a lot of scenarios where there was no ROI earlier. Now there is an ROI because the cost of building and cost of shipping has gone so low that now you can target those ideas. Think about those things. And last thing, choose small markets, but have a larger goal. So this is a counterintuitive thought, but the idea here is that you can go in, and as things continue to improve, innovation continues to push the boundaries or raise the floor, you are able to raise the ceiling. Okay, here is a checklist. If you're going after, I talked about it in last session, so this will be quick. What is the task nature? Their correct use case, repetitive tasks are easy. Where you are putting strategy, it's hard. Your data, do you have the data? Do you have the ground truth data? What is the correct answer? Do you have that access? Not only data, but ground truth data. Regulatory environments, go-to-market strategy. Contract risk assessment is a very easy thing to go sell. And if you say, I am going to go make a custom statement of record systems, replace all of your SaaS, best of luck. Like you would have a lot of challenges in GTM. Salesforce is not Salesforce because they have created these screens. Salesforce is Salesforce because Salesforce knows GTM. And then obviously, how can you quickly start making money? And if you say, I'm going to clone Mahesh, it's really hard for me to pay you for that today with the technology you have. And all of you can think about yourself. Can you clone yourself to teach your kids? Maybe not. Means you think it's trivial. Try doing that with AI. It's not there yet. And you won't pay anybody for that. You will hire a tutor, which is much cheaper. Okay, then where are the opportunities? I listed 12 here. They're fundamental AI research, high risk, high reward AI research, like Anthropic is doing, which is about AI alignment and safety. Huge risk here. If you don't do it, it's okay. But if you do it, it's a lot of money. Similarly, new breakthroughs, which DeepMind is doing with protein folding. Figure out how to do better reasoning and increase the robustness of these models. Figure out standards, security, and reliability of these models. Figure out how can you allow governments to do it. Like Palantir's whole business model is, if government wants to do it, we will do it for them. Cybersecurity, public sector, AI in education. I posted, people are looking for people to, the government is ready to fund you if you are building AI to teach tutors or take on their admin roles. And also, how can students learn faster? Okay, what we did today, we talk about agents, we talk about what it takes, we talk about the agents, that the key ingredients, and we gave you a list of things that you can go build on. So what can you do? Read this doc. I found it good 101 doc. This is OpenAI doc on practical guide of building agents. You will have a lot of clarity if you're just starting. Here is an RFP from US government where they are saying, please submit by May 30th your ideas across the 12 fields I just talked about. So publish them. This would be a good exercise for you to apply your product thinking and muscles to see what needs to be built, how you should build it, and continue building prototypes. I showed you how to build the back end and front end today. Please go and experiment. Last thing is thank you. And thank you to people. I saw these two posts, which made my day. One was Divya. She summarized one thing, one section we discussed last time, and actually created a post which reached much more audience than what I could teach here or people can think. So thanks to Divya, and thanks to Anirban. This is some Lenny's list posted some lot of things, and he said, actually, Mahesh course is also good. Please watch his series. I think I like him. So great. Thank you for promoting.